Good evening. I am Adventure Argonaut. This is the Golden News. I'm starting a bit late today, but better late than never, as they say. And of course, the main topic today will be the new Epstein files that have been released, and there's some interesting stuff there. But before we get to that, let's see the streams. Are they working? Rumble still is considering whether it wants to work or not. Let's get my kick chat here. Yeah, all right, all right. Rumble, what are you doing? Okay, Rumble is working too. Okay, Kick, Twitch, Rumble, everything working that I'm streaming on today. All right. So let's get to like I said, Epstein's anti-Goytism, Goytism, however that should be phrased. And so yeah, a bunch of new Epstein files were released. And before I forget, I guess I should point out that that's like I think 3 million files or something, and they were supposed to have been already released, a month ago or whenever when the other stuff came out. But so I'm just wondering how much of stuff is still withheld from us. So yeah, the Justice Department is finally releasing new batch of over 3 million files in relation to Jeffrey Epstein, including 2,000 videos. Here you are paying taxes to pedophiles. Picture of the Milky Way. Yes. All right. So let's see. So the new Epstein files production features numerous allegations made against Donald Trump and others. So Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Key Girls. Jeffrey Epstein would bring children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men and included Elon Musk, Don Jr., Trump, Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump were there. Attorney Alan Dershowitz also was there. Attorney Bob Shapiro. We were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald J. Trump, forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was 13 years old when Donald J. Trump raped me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. So yeah, there's stuff like this. Okay, there's the Donald Trump. I'm not gonna read all of these because there are some people said that these particular files that they are a bit sus. Uh, so yeah, this complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate incidents involving police which requested mandatory psychiatric evaluations. Like, of course, this could mean that, that they are just, either insane or just lying, or maybe they were genuine and they were, framed to be insane. I don't know which one, but it's like, so just to point out, like, even if the files say something doesn't mean that it's true. However, I do think they sort of confirm a lot of the stuff that we already knew, that we are ruled by pedophiles, and most of those pedophiles seem to belong to a certain ethnic or religious group that you're not allowed to criticize too much. And by coincidence, I just have to have this here. FBI report: Trump is compromised by Israel. A declassified FBI report says that FBI informants believe Trump is compromised by Israel, that his Jewish Zionist son in law Jared Kushner was the real power behind the presidency. So, what to say? Somebody was at Harry's house when Harry should it be Harry or Harry, whatever, that Trump told him that he was going to fuck Amazon over military contracts. CHS advised that this was the real collusion story. Trump has been compromised by Israel, and Kushner's the real brains behind his organization and presidency. Well, that's not really news either. At least, like, I'm not saying that Kushner is definitely definitely the brains behind Trump's administration, but this claim has been around for a long time. Um, so, like, yeah, it's possible. Thomas Massey said, if you're reading Epstein files now, it's because I'm in Congress and fighting. I'm not taking all the credit, at least as much goes to Ro Khanna and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace. And too many documents are still being withheld or redacted, but we'll get to that too. Of course, like some people are pointing out that it's a bit like, or asking the question, why are these, like, if all these pedos are in control, why are they allowing the release of these documents? And some are suggesting that they are sort of trying to build up Thomas Massey to be the savior, or something, and but he's actually controlled maybe another group, but still, and that's a good possibility, because it is a bit sus, even though, like, nothing in these documents is really that new in that sense, like for anybody who's being paid attention, or being paying attention, and also nobody's still arrested over any of this stuff, except Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were arrested, but like anybody else, nobody else has been arrested, so that's a bit, so I don't know, like, what's the end game here. It's a bit unclear. Thomas Massey for Congress. Good news. Today I forced DOJ to release millions of Epstein documents. Bad news. The Israel First super PAC just bought another $800,000 of ads against me. You can't make this up. I definitely need your help if you can. So yeah, it's basically saying that because he released the Epstein documents, then the Israel APAC is buying more ads against him. So who might the documents be harming then? And Patriot Voice here says, holy guacamole, this is a bombshell. It just came out today in the freshly released Epstein files from the DOJ, which has been since been deleted, according to confidential informant CHS in 2020. Trump has been compromised by Israel, and Kushner is the real brains behind this operation and his presidency. Yeah, that stuff we read already. Mind you, this was in 2020, and you can see what his second presidency has turned into, with MIGA being the order of the day. It makes perfect sense. It confirms that Trump is really just a puppet, not running anything. He's taking orders and direction from people like Kushner on many things, especially foreign policy wise. This is what many people already knew to be true, but to see in these files is shocking, as is Kushner's confirmed direct involvement. It gets worse. Close to Trump confidant and Epstein's former lawyer Alan Dershowitz, who has been to the island many times, is named as well. CHS believes Dershowitz was co-opted by Mossad and is subscribed to their mission. If it isn't the confirmation I told you so of the century, then I truly don't know what it is. Wonder what they already deleted this. No wonder they already deleted this batch of files. Okay, what files? You can say whatever you want. Trump doing the bidding of a foreign country is treason at the absolute highest levels, is what I and many others have been saying for a while. We are a completely occupied nation. Zog. This is the real Great Awakening. What does it say? So Dershowitz was co-opted by Mossad, and okay, so it says in these documents, and CHS advised that this was a real collusion story. Trump has been compromised, and Israel Kushner is the real brains behind the organization and the presidency. Okay, it's just this stuff. Um, Now, of course, this Kushner stuff could be a distraction, but it's very obvious that Israel has been dictating U.S. policy for a while. Okay, this is just a complaint, and it's not um, legit or not credible. Like this saying this stuff about Trump, and I'm not. I don't know whether Trump is literally a pedo or not. But he certainly has been protecting them, and still, I think he's calling these documents a hoax and all this stuff. So, like, even if he's not a pedo, he's friends with pedos, or his bosses are pedos. That's how it seems to me, at least. So, as suspected, Epstein was into torture. Nick Fuentes is currently selling Epstein sweaters. So, from somebody, why is this name redacted? Is doesn't sound like he's a victim who has to be protected, but no, it's to, sorry, it's from Epstein to somebody we don't know. So where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. So it implies that the person who Epstein is sending this email to tortured somebody in the video, or at least provided Epstein with a torture video. Yeah, so right after seven-figure deal with X Mark Living sponsors, I think everybody is turning on Nick Fuentes, and that's good. But like at least I can say, like, I called him before, like called him out before he really jumped the shark already, like when he was like defending Israel in the Charlie Kirk assassination. I said already back then, so I said that he sold out to the Jews. Like, of course, many people have been saying for years that he's a Fed or not, but it's like it was obvious at that point, at least, that he's sold his soul, if he ever had one. Epstein himself admitted that President Trump never even received a massage in an email to Michael Wolff. President Trump is proven clean again. So yeah, so this is from Epstein to Michael Wolff. Yeah, so he never got a massage, like talking about Trump. So I, does that really mean anything? Like, okay, he never got a massage in wherever, was it in his place or at Mar-a-Lago or in Epstein someplace, like, and okay, mustache probably means some other services, but it doesn't really clear Trump of anything. Like, yeah, like, just I don't know what to say. Like, these Trump fanboys are grabbing at straws here, in my opinion, because just look at Trump's actions prior to the release of these documents. Jeffrey Epstein is the anti-Semite's wet dream, every Jewish trope wrapped up in one man. So, from Jeffrey Epstein to Roger Shank, this is the way the Jew make money, and made a fortune in the past 10 years, selling short the shipping futures. Let the Goyim deal with the real world. So Goyim means us, non-Jewish people. We are Goyim, or cattle is another translation for it. So, from shipping news, the most dramatic growth has been in shipping futures, which allow shipping companies to lay off risks. The most popular futures are forward freight agreements, FFAs, to deliver goods on a particular route at some point in the future. They have grown in the past year to be roughly the size of the physical market, according to Bill Lines of the Baltic Exchange, a shipping bazaar in London that sells FFAs. Many in the industry has been suspicious of such futures because they have been averse to hedging their bets, risk-taking, after all, part of the game, and averse to complicated financial instruments that they do not really understand. So yeah, this is the way Jews make money, made fortune the past 10 years, selling short shipping, let going deal with the real world. So yeah, they just play their game, make money, and we have to deal with reality, harsh reality. The government would never protect murderers. Oh wait, what's this? So, from Jeffrey Epstein to somebody else. I give you permission to kill him. He's apparently with somebody. He lied to you and he lied to me. So Jeffrey Epstein gave somebody a permission to kill somebody. Of course, he might be joking here, Like if he really was making an actual hit like job for giving a hit job to somebody, maybe he wouldn't say it so directly. But still, it's yeah. I wonder who is this? What is reacted people here? Epstein organized a party for Jews only. No goyim allowed. Jeffrey Epstein and Peggy Siegel in an interesting email exchange dated 2010 with the subject Yacht Slut. Epstein, Dubin, Dershowitz, Zuckerman all said yes to September 18th Yom Kippur redemption. Sounds like a wrestling event. I need you to oversee. Peggy, is it going to be 100% Jew night? Even Perlman on Yum Yum has some goyim. I'm getting my media elite list FedExed out for Saturday and will email some nails. What about Jane Fonda, my new best friend? Nothing like an ex-Jew hater with a Jewish boyfriend to mix it up. Epstein, no goyim in abundance. JP Morgan XX brilliant wasps. So yeah, I just read some stuff. So yeah, they it does vindicate sort of all this nasty anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about like how people like Epstein talk about the rest of us. They really see us as different somehow. And I wouldn't really care, but the problem, like if it's just in their private lives, I wouldn't mind about that. But like because these people also control all of most of our institutions, whether it's government or finance or media and so forth. And they, because they are very malicious people against those who they view as goyim. So that is the problem here. In case of emergency, break glass. Very interesting. So code words, strange phrases in Epstein files. Go for pizza, grape soda. No one else can understand. Yeah. So this is like Pizzagate stuff. Looks like Pizzagate was not a hoax. Was not just a theory, but a fact that pizza is code for something else. Holy shit, chunky! I forgot about that. What time do you want to get pizza and grape soda tomorrow? From Harry Fish to Jeffrey Epstein. From somebody to Jeffrey Epstein. Peru Equity Research Brookline PDF. Okay, this is better than a Chinese cookie. See attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand. Go no. Okay. Peggy Siegel, is it gonna be a 100% unite? Epstein, no, go him in abundance. Yeah, this is, yeah, go him in abundance. JP Morgan XX Brilliant Wasps, 100% unite. Evan Perman, yeah, well, this is the stuff we read in the other stuff already. Yeah, so this is how they think. Norway's crown princess Mette-Marit to Epstein. You always make me smile because you tickle my brain. Her name appears several hundred times in Epstein files. And is this the Norwegian princess who like dumped her like husband for some black yoga instructor or something? You always make me smile because you tickle my brain, but I want the data from now, or the bill is mine. It is the cocktail of all the unnaturals. What is this, like th equals t, or is it like that have a profound effect on the early stages of development in humans? Soon people won't be able to make new humans anymore, but I guess that would be a la la land great. We can just design them in a lab. Wait, what? So the like crown princess of Norway is talking about like ending like natural birth and growing people in a lab or something. What the fuck is going on? And skrev. Yeah, that's right in, I guess, Norwegian. Tons, and they all. Is that right? I think that's right. I skriv in Swedish because they're very similar. I know a little bit of Swedish. Anyways, tons. They all lead me to same conclusion that nature protects even its vegetables. The most potent poisons are natural. The most diseases are a result of other species winning out. The idea that living in sync with nature is not, well, I don't know, from 1998 or from 1988 BC, a concept that championed for humors, earth, water, fire, etc. Antibiotics are exactly that, things that kill natural organisms. I hope you are smiling. I know you prefer to live in the land of make believe. Me too. I, I don't really know. Son of Norway crown princess to stand trial for allegedly raping four women. Yeah, great royal family here, Norway. Remember when they said Pizzagate was a conspiracy theory? Slicing a pizza, the subject here, and from U9 Red Pizza Part. No, it's just the subject. From unknown person to Benjamin Moon and Ike Groff. I don't know who they are. Hi Ben, great game today. Wanted to check and see if you might be available for a pizza party next Saturday after the friendly Darien game we are having. It's been difficult trying to find a time most people are available to participate, but it seems next Saturday is best for most. Please let me know. Thanks. So it's okay. It's from Yadin Dudai. Don't know who that is either. Daphne Valles, from her to Epstein. Alert, send pizza to Bobby. Send pizza to Bobby. Okay. I guess they really just like their pizza. It's not code for anything, not for like little girls or anything like that. Jeffrey Epstein invited Elon Musk to a party. Elon Musk replied, would be an unwise use of my time. So do you think I'm retarded? Just kidding. This is no one over 25 and are very cute. So I run and lead product design engineering for two complicated companies. Moreover, as SpaceX is about to launch what is arguably the most advanced rocket in history, flying to New York to see UN diplomats do nothing would be unwise use of time. So, any plans for my New York opening? The General Assembly has many interesting people coming to the house. So some say it's a fabricate. Now here is a link apparently to it. Uh, okay, there's another because people are guessing whether it's real or not, and suppose another email from Epstein to Musk, probably just Tallulah and me. What day and night will be the wildest party of your on your island? So, oh no, it's from Musk to Epstein. Sorry. Uh, okay, but there's a fake one here. So I'm sorry, Elon, you just missed JE. So Jeffrey Epstein, he actually told me he was thinking of winding down the entire little St. James operation. Bummer, if it starts again, we'll be sure to let you know. Hi, Jeff. I was thinking of flying down for our epic vacation. Somebody told me that you were planning party girls for the win. I cleared my calendar with the details. Thank you, good sir. But yeah, this is apparently fake. So hey, I'm personally fine with that timeline if actually Epstein is not like a pedophile or anything. Did I say Epstein? I mean Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure Epstein's, but I mean Musk, Elon Musk. Like maybe he is like he's certainly been protecting censoring Twitter X in various ways, which is not very doesn't make me happy. But like perhaps he's sort of goaded into it. It's possible he's not like a really evil person like most of the people in Epstein files. That's a possibility, I guess. Look, Jeffrey sharing some of his favorite Bible verses. Lol. As Ezekiel 9 6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. Isaiah 13:16, their wives also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Their children shall be dashed to pieces, and wives ravished. Okay, ravished, not radished. Deuteronomy 13:15, and thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly. Leviticus 29, for everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. Exodus 32:27, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out of from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. Deuteronomy 21:10-12, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them unto thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, and thou wouldest have her for thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, I guess. Exodus 31:15, whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day shall surely be put to death. Deuteronomy 21:21, and all the men on this city shall stone him with stones that he die. It's good they don't stone them with, I don't know, pillows. So Khaled Soliman here says, that's why we say it's the Jews and not the Zionists. Epstein is the personification of Judaism. Look around, who else keeps getting busted trafficking organs and children all around the world? It's always them. Well, yeah, it's very hard to deny that at this point. And of course, when you say it's the Jews, doesn't mean that it's 100% of the Jews. Maybe it's only 90% of the Jews. Maybe it's only 50%. Maybe it's only 20%. But it's like uh, I think I've said similar things before, but that's how language works. If you say that the Romans invented the aqueduct, it doesn't mean that the entire population of Rome invented it. It's a small group of engineers who invented the aqueduct. Or United States invaded Iraq in 2003. It doesn't mean that it was the whole population of United States. It was the army, and it wasn't the entire American army, because they have a huge army. So it was like a significant portion of the army. So that's why you can say it's the Jews, because it's a significant portion of Jews that have wield power over various institutions. That's how language works, and somehow people tend to forget that detail when you're talking about certain kinds of groups. New Epstein files reveal that Jeffrey Epstein had said he was helping ISIS through US Israeli proxies. I told you ISIS stands for Israeli intelligence. Well, yeah, that's been obvious for a long time. So from Epstein to Tom Pritzker, whoever that is, Turkey gives Nasra a heads up on Iraqi recruits slaughter. Russia gives Erdogan a heads up on a coup. US gives a pass to ISIS and Palmyra as it has no support, so will stay. Nuclear base in Turkey, Soviet defense in Iran, Saudi in Yemen, Egypt about to lose all financial support. Jordan has 1 million refugees, as does Lebanon. Also, my guy Thuborn Jagland, the Gen Council of Europe, will be here that weekend as well. So this is 2016. Nusra, ISIS, Al Qaeda, Jabba, Hamas, the leaders all prefer Donald Wild. Yes, there is tradecraft name for the administration's approach, clusterfuck. When China began building bases in South China Sea, we ran freedom of navigation cruises. This is a technical process that describes which of the ship's systems are on and which systems are off. Zero orders. O orders it done. I don't know what it means. And Pentagon sends over details. Susan Rice views systems on and off as a protocol, but as many of options. She overrules Pentagon orders with systems she wants on and off. In effect, was it WII? World, I don't know, Wheel Diluted Challenge. I'm not quite sure. It's unclear what. Or WH? Maybe diluted challenge for which freedom of navigation cruises were designed. He had a foreign policy strategy that was articulated at Cairo. This failed strategy and he failed to change when its failure was clear. Would you like to hear what Ehud uh, Ehud Barak, I guess, I thought when he first heard Cairo? Good example was complete withdrawal from Iraq, military, diplomatic, economic, followed by passive support of Maliki, who then slaughtered Sunnis and made ISIS a rational alternative. Okay, it was a mouthful to read. Recent Epstein file releases, okay, so contain no statement from Jeffrey Epstein about helping ISIS through U.S. Israeli proxies. No credible sources report this. The claim appears substantiated. Okay, so maybe maybe it's fake then, but well, doesn't still change the fact that ISIS has benefited Israel, even though they're supposedly Muslim extremists or something. Epstein files reveal Jeffrey Epstein ordered employees to kill the show animals on his ranch. So from Sarah K to somebody and LSJ, not sure who, wanted to make sure that you guys knew JE. Jeffrey Epstein told Wendy to get rid of all the show animals on the ranch, the miniature horses, pigs, turkey, goats, Diablo, etc. What's that? Wendy said she will try and sell them what she can. I don't think Che much cares what happens to them, as she said, to just kill them. I think the only thing we are keeping is the chickens for the eggs and the horses which somebody can ride. Okay. So I guess it's actually probably talking about animals and not like code for something else, like, cattle. Yet another leaked file shows Jeffrey Epstein's disdain for Gentiles. He called Madonna cattle after seeing her on the Jewelry King show, where she discussed Kabbalah and took the K for the circle spirituality lessons from some rabbi huckster, expressing disdain with celebrities hopping on the Jew identity bandwagon without actually converting. Imagine he was Muslim speaking like this every type of blah, 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 whatever you care about the Muslim apologism right now. So Madonna and the Jewelry King show talking about Kabbalah. Yeah, it's basically what we read there already. So yeah. Well, yeah, Madonna she's very pathetic nowadays. No black girls allowed on Epstein Island. Don't bring me any Niagaras. Yeah, I don't really care about his particular view on these kind of people, but you'd think that the leftists who are really all for Black Lives Matter and stuff, they should care, and it's not white supremacy or anything. It's Jew supremacy. The Epstein and his pals, what they believe in. The real culture war Epstein story that no one of these leftists are going to talk about or address is that Epstein was actively talking to homosexual groomers who were pushing transgenderism and trying to push the idea of trans children. So from Robert Trivers to Jeffrey Epstein. Trans subject. It's very simple. I will compare male to female with female to male. With greater molecular control over development, we are increasingly capable of producing novel phenotypes, more feminine men by blocking testosterone receptors orchestration and at the same time increasing estrogen production. The one Box male feature, blocks, probably blocks male features, the icon encourages female features. More masculine women, heavy testosterone dosage, incredible external effects, heavily bearded men. You would never guess they had a female bone in their body. First kind male to female is 4 times more frequent than female to male. First is attractive, he's a woman with a cock, so that if your fantasy is to suck a man's dick, otherwise you are completely heterosexual, it would be nicer if the rest of the organism is female, then you get the best of both worlds. I don't know, I really wanna call the Space Marines to burn the heretics. So many transsexual women are very attractive and easily make money, which in turn they assert promotes their prostitution since they have to pay hefty fees for injections every week, but they are sexually happy once you have reached manhood. Even castration does not prevent the sensation of organism. Contrast the poor female to male versions. They are unhappy and lonely, thinking of what's the actress who became a male? I forgot her name. Elliot. The male name is Elliot something. It's not Elliot Ness though. um, okay, they are unhappy lonely. They are men with mum pums, the worst of both worlds. If you like smelly masculine men, you want that hard cock that comes with the show. You do not want one of nature's more complex and variable structures. The pum pum that is acquired taste and not with a man. There are hundreds of female trans women's websites. I've never seen a male one. By the way, we are now pushing the intervention earlier, so you notice your 3-year-old son has trans tendencies, so now you intervene with hormones. I would be frightened to do that, but who knows? So, yeah, it's, just to point out that Epstein had something to do. This is 2018, so it's not like it's fairly recent, like a year before his alleged death. But like as some people have been claiming that Jews are behind transgenderism stuff, and here's some evidence at least to support that. I'm not saying it's conclusive, but okay, somebody has to say there's a real possibility that Zohran Mamdani is Jeffrey Epstein's biological son. I guess the mouth is sort of similar. Okay, let's see. Just left Ghislaine's. It is too small to see, and I can't really like zoom in either on that. We just have to believe USA News here that this corroborates their words because can't zoom in really. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is right zoom. Okay. Who is the redacted person who told Jeffrey Epstein that he loved torture video? These are files showing. So yeah, I mean, where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture videos. I am in China. I will be in the U.S. second week of May. And Jake Shields says that Lindsey Graham was in China during this time. Maybe it's him then. Maybe not. Maybe it's coincidental. But yeah, why is this torture video guy being protected? Why can't we see his name or his or her name? Trump admitted to disappearing a 12-year-old girl and threatened to disappear another and kill their family. This isn't from a tip line, this is a sworn testimony. If they were willing to release this, imagine what they're still hiding. So I personally witnessed defendant Trump telling plaintiff that she shouldn't ever say anything if she didn't want to disappear like the 12-year-old female, blah, and that she was capable of having her whole family killed. I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. But then people are posting this that troubled woman with history of drug use who claimed that she was assaulted by Donald Trump, but Jeffrey Epstein, a sex party mate, at age 13, made it all up. So they're implying this is the same. I don't know because here it says Tiffany Doe pseudonym. So I don't know if it's this woman. Uh, so it would imply this is all fake, but just reporting it if somebody knows more about this. Daily Mail said Epstein's sex empire was KGB honey trap. Pedophile financier had multiple talks with Putin after conviction, with Russian girls flown to harvest compromise on world famous figures. So yeah, it was a he was a Russian asset, not Israeli asset. You know, it's not the Jews; it's the Ruskies. This is I don't know. This is one of the most retarded things ever. Oh my God, they're wearing Russian hats. That means they are Russian. Um, I did hear like the claim that Putin is mentioned like 1,000. Like some people say that Putin is not mentioned in the files at all, and others say that he's mentioned 1,000 times. But so far, I haven't seen any evidence of like Putin actually conversing with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, I do believe that he's been mentioned in the files because they did, the people did discuss political issues, and Putin is politically relevant, but like has he actually conversed with Epstein or his friends? And does Putin even know English? Like he'd have to have like a translator because I don't think he knows much English. So I could be wrong. Maybe Putin was part of his cabal of pedophiles, but so far I remain unconvinced. Spetsnaz 007 says, just so you know, most of the underage Slavic girls used by Epstein were from Ukraine. I know this is not speculation, rather well-documented cases from Odessa. The Epstein ring is just one of many in the world which brought both women from the Black Sea, the black market of Europe, Ukraine's infamous nickname from sex to organ trafficking, you name it. In one of Europe's poorest countries, it's not uncommon for people to sell anything, even their own children. Since the beginning of the SMO in 2022, I guess the war, Ukraine created programs to send kids outside the country. A lot below 15 reportedly working at the strip clubs in Germany to those pregnant by staffs in Turkey. Again, not speculation. I've well documented this and would share the threads below. Many wonder why Russia removed children from the front lines. Well, their most important was safety, protecting kids from the horrors of war. The children are ethnic Russians, and it's Russia's duty to take care of them. However, in Kiev, they are furious we wouldn't let them use kids as shields or worse, be sold off under the cover of war. We saw that in Iraq. Indeed, I hope for peace and the exposure of every globalist scum on earth. Uh, yeah, so I'm not gonna go deeper into what this guy has to say. So, like that it sounds credible, but of course, he clearly is very pro-Russian. So of course, there might be slant there, but seems credible or plausible, let's say. Epstein claimed Putin said Zelensky is run by Israelis. Uh, well, duh. Epstein and Larry Summers were texting about Zelensky 2 weeks after he won the election, May 6, 2019. Zelensky had just won, but wasn't yet inaugurated. Epstein, Ukraine looking for advice, not sure where to start. Epstein, Zelensky looking for help. Putin dismissive, saying he's run by Israelis. So I guess this is Epstein, Ukraine looking for advice. Mentally strong is the key for your recovery. Discipline, doing lots of things you don't want to do. Taking some time to clear your head. We can discuss Ukraine. I know little, having been a number of times to Pinchak and conference, I guess, having helped push the debt relief during Teresko time as FM, financial minister. Zelensky looking for help. Putin dismissive, saying he's run by Israelis. Well, duh. Can you speak now? Jammed with caretakers. Can we do later? No rush. Okay. Yeah. So if this is true, it was sort of imply that Putin isn't run by Israelis then. Rothschild, Mr. Talks, will you be free? Let's discuss Ukraine. Epstein, Ukraine upheaval should provide many opportunities, many, after Maidan coup in 2014. So yeah, Jews war profiteering as usual. Uh, yeah, very lucrative business opportunity. I can see the furrowing lobes and Britney Spears Epstein files alert. While she was in conservatorship, Jeffrey Epstein and Mark Tramo sent emails about Mark about getting funding to do a project related to Britney. Britney's child custody woes were a topic of discussion as well. Why? Mark works with the UCLA Geffen Medical School. Britney was held against her will in the UCLA Resnick Psychiatric Hospital, not allowed to leave. She was enslaved for 13 years. So there's a I'm not gonna read all. So there's a custody issue surrounding her kids. There's too much. Mark Tramo is an associate adjunct professor of neurology at the UCLA David Geffen School of Medicine. So yeah, okay. She's lecturer in music industry program at the Herb Alpert School of Music. Yeah, because Geffen, when I hear the word, it makes me think of CDs and stuff. Britney Spears looks like her. I don't know. But yeah, well, she's people have been saying she's an MK Ultra mind control victim or something. So I think that's related. Ariane de Rothschild and Jeffrey Epstein claimed that Hitler lived in shelter that was funded by Rothschilds and the Epsteins. Turns out, first it turns out to be 100% true. Hitler was selling his clothes and artwork, living in shelter funded by Jews. Epstein, Rothschild, Gottman, knows conspiracy. Epstein's Vienna bankers bought their bank and the ring has still Palais Epstein. Where are you? I'm in bed with your code. But there is a way to say that generosity is not rewarded or the conspiracy theory still exists is quite pathetic. Okay, I thought you'd find it amusing that in Harvard class on Hitler they told the story of when he was so poor he lived in shelter for the homeless and destitute, that it had been financed by three wealthy families, the Goldmans, the Epsteins, and the Rothschilds. Turns out to be accurate. So okay, let's say this is true. Uh, I guess should point out that the reason there was so much poverty is probably because of these, partially because of Rothschilds, especially, and these rich banking families that cause wars and steal people's money. Epstein emails referring to school buses the day after Virginia Giuffre was assassinated. So hi Dini, hi me again. So it's 2025, April 1st. So I'm just checking out there. What kind of school bus is it? It's just that on a Saturday or Sunday schools are closed. So was the bus a Sunday school bus or another bus on a Sunday? Also tell somebody nice booby shot always great a bit of cleavage there. Also someone in intensive care wouldn't be wearing a pretty little white top again with jewelry. I know because I've been to A&E. Hey, so please clarify this. Also, massive apologies to Princess of Wales, our future queen, for using her maiden name in my previous email. Absolutely exhausted as one needed a bottle at 5 a.m. Love being mom, but seriously, any spare decorations will be handy if I'm also available for bar mitzvah. They are rad parties. So they need to the sister up and get my story on there. Okay, it's a bit rambling, and I don't really doesn't yet. We don't know who said it. Of course, it shouldn't be Epstein because he's dead, right? So Virginia Jeffrey Epstein accused her in a serious condition after accident with school bus. So yeah, that's why because they're referring to school bus. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So who is this guy? Like, why is their name redacted? Seems like they're a naughty boy or girl. And as I said, I love being a mom, so maybe it's female. At this point, I'm curious if anybody connected to Trump is not a pedophile. So this is Brett Ratner. He directed Melania's movie that I guess nobody really wants to see, right? From Steve Bannon to Epstein 4 months before death. We need to work around 38 first. We need to push back on the lies, then crush the pedo trafficking narrative, then rebuild your image as a philanthropist. So yeah, it's well now like Fuentes is not trying to make him out to be a philanthropist, but like yeah, he's trying to uh, rebuild his image as I don't know having aura or whatever bullshit that means in that context. I know what is an aura, but I don't understand the new Zoomer way of using it because it's retarded. We literally have emails from victims of Epstein stating the Epstein trafficking ring is still running and being funded today. Is this why the DOJ isn't prosecuting? So yeah, it's February 2025, so like 1 year ago. To the FCA, David Bowie, Sigrid Merkel, okay. Because she was and still is a long-term employee of the Epstein trafficking ring that is still running and being funded today. Pretti was I named blah blah as an accomplice who helped facilitate the running of the sex trafficking ring. So how on earth can you then go to represent her? This is why Staley got in touch with my attorneys, Jennifer Freeman, and wanted me to testify in Deutsche Bank case. Just Staley knows exactly who I am, and so do his attorneys. Jennifer Freeman stopped me from testifying against somebody because the victims would lose any compensation payout for being raped and trafficked in that litigation if I testify against somebody who was being protected here. So I don't know, but well, yeah, it's like the authorities are not gonna take care of it. But like I think the American people, the European people too, they why aren't they let's say building oubliettes for these people? Like they'd rather get animated over I don't know a sports game or a video game or like a movie or something like get up on barricades, but stuff like this, they should yeah whatever. Jeffrey Epstein is very active on 4chan and used to goon to furry porn. So boards 4chan, blah blah blah. Okay, some sort of pictures. Yeah. Epstein victim raped by Bush and witnessed babies dismembered. Uh, I'd like to add a few other points disclosed by the purported victim. While on his yacht, he witnessed African American males having sex with white blonde females, all of whom were bleeding during intercourse. So this is from, we don't know whom, we don't know sent between which people. So, yeah, thanks, Blab. I didn't realize Bush raped him too. Okay, okay. He was victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, individuals eating the feces from these intestines. Yeah. He was also raped by George Bush 1, so I guess his senior. Victim disclosed he was escorted to the FBI building by Michael Moore, who is the creator of True Pundit, described by multiple online sources as a conspiracy-driven news website that attempts to paint the FBI in a bad light. Moore has a criminal record as a result of FBI investigation. Copyright infringement. Let me know if you want to discuss a former FBI agent that called this into the head office. So, is this fake or what? Like, I don't know, but it's like, but this isn't the only source for this sort of information. Like those of us who have been paying attention know that this sort of stuff does go on. Just wondering how common it is and how many of these people are actually doing it. Oh yeah, and Sky News said something interesting. Being mentioned in the Epstein files is not a sign of wrongdoing, and yes, technically that is true, but the implication here is quite different because, Ron Paul is mentioned in the files, but it's just basically saying how he's not good for Israel, like back in 2012 or whenever that he might have become U.S. president, but doesn't mean that he was somehow involved with Epstein or his cronies. So Roberts was born. So the owner of Sky News, Roberts, was born in a Jewish family in Philadelphia. What a surprise! What a surprise! So I wonder if he's in the files himself. Did people really not know this? Here's a short list also at New York Times, Bloomberg, Daily Wire. So yeah, Fox Corporation Murdoch he's not Jewish, but he has some family is not predominantly Jewish, but has some Jewish members. MSNBC, NBC News, owned by Comcast. CEO is Brian Roberts, who is Jewish, so I guess it's him. CNN owned by Warner Bros. Discovery. CEO is David Zaslav, Jewish. CBS uh, is controlled by National Amusements, owned by Redstone family, who are Jewish. The current controlling shareholder is Shari Redstone. ABC News, owned by Walt Disney Company CEO, is Robert Iger, who is Jewish. Oh, what a coincidence. Please wire blah 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 amount of money to Baal. So Jeffrey Epstein to JP Morgan, due to name the bank account Baal. Yeah, haha, very funny. So much drip and riz and spice and gish. Uh, and yeah, I think JP Morgan should, perhaps they should also be investigated. Let's just put it that way. Male Epstein victim was allegedly raped by President Bush and witnessed baby being dismembered. Yeah, this is the same stuff we read. How about this other one? Uh, Tuesday, August 27, 2019, myself and SA conducted an interview purported victim Jeffrey Epstein. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's see. Somebody stated he has ingested hallucinogenic mushrooms as well as other illicit substances in the past and currently smokes marijuana. Reportedly being raped, sodomized by his great uncle since the age of 5 years old until age 22. Described meeting Epstein in a yacht club and his relatives were members first at age 5 and later age 8. States he was raped, sodomized by Epstein in 2000 on a large yacht, 9 out of what? As well as by former President William J. Clinton. States he was also the current President Trump, along with his wife Melania, were present during the said yacht trip in 2000. Trump not married his current spouse Melania until as 2005. Yeah, reports while being raped by Epstein and Clinton, he was in heavy drug induced states. So I'm just wondering, what age was this guy when he was allegedly sodomized by Epstein and Clinton? Stated all the above incidents were recovered, repressed memories until he began therapy sometime in 2016 approximately. Offered no supporting or corroborating evidence or witnesses that could be contacted. Appeared to me emotionally unbalanced and not intoxicated. At this time, it is not recommended that any additional investigative resources are expended concerning their claim. So, okay, somebody made these accusations, but they were not taken seriously. Well, I guess it's possible. It's difficult to prove, I guess, that this happened if it happened a long time ago. But yeah, male victim is allegedly raped by President Bush and witnessed baby being this. Oh, yeah, but doesn't talk about this. Okay, whatever. So Bill Gates, restless nerd, has Epstein help him get Russian prostitute. Gates gets STD, asks Epstein for STD medicine. Epstein helps him. Gates worried his wife will get STD. Gates asks Epstein for help, secretly slipping antibiotics into her food. Epstein gets annoyed. Epstein tells Gates he doesn't want to hang out anymore. Gates absolutely seethes. Gates calls in his secret network of assassins, Microsoft staff. Epstein banned from Xbox Live. I'm not gonna. I know. Yeah, this is just. Yeah, there is somewhere else about this alleged STD stuff, but like, yeah, he was banned from Xbox Live. Epstein. This is sort of funny, but there might be another reason. It's also very possible that he was actually, I don't know, doing, I don't know, hitting on young girls there. Who knows? Or, there's threats of death, harm, property menace, any other violence, vandalism, verbal abuse, profanity directed at other players, grieving, extortion and manipulation, libel, defamation, slander, display of transmission of personally identifiable information, such as name, address, blah, 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 stalking. So I don't know. It maybe it's possible that Microsoft was just doing their job here, or maybe it was vindictive. I don't know. Wikipedia: Pizzagate conspiracy theory was false. Debunked claim that went viral during the 2016 U.S. election. So yeah, I think we looked at these things. So they sent pizza to Bobby. May I bring your slice of pizza to you? Respectfully, Daphne. Hi Ben, great game. Yeah, we read this too. It's a bit longer and slicing pizza. Yeah. Last year, Elon Musk said Jeffrey Epstein tried to get him to go to his island, but he refused. New emails show Elon Musk actively asking Epstein what day night will the wildest party be on our island. Next year, Musk asked again if there was a good time to visit. So yeah, here Elon Musk saying he was asked to go to the island, he refused. According to this, so between this is to Epstein from, I guess, yeah, Elon Musk. Actually, I could go back, fly back on early on the 3rd. It will be in the St. Bart's. When should we head to your island the 2nd? I need to fly back to LA on the night of the 2nd. Uh, 2 or 3 will be perfect. I will come get you. Anyway, first 8th, play it by ear if you want. Always space for you. We'll be on the BVI St. Bart's area or holidays. Is there a good time to visit? Probably it's just Tallulah and me. What day and night will be the wildest party on our island? So I don't know. Maybe. Well, maybe everybody, anybody who is implicated by these files in any way, maybe they should be in an oubliette and ask questions later. Epstein was a fan of Yuri. Yuri taught your response. So Yuri is like, lesbian manga, anime, and stuff like that. Why did Elon's brother Kimball have an Epstein girl? Why was Epstein concerned he'd hurt her? Why was Kimball hiding his emails under the subject medication use for obese kids? Why did Epstein send 3 foreign girls to SpaceX? Kimball, just FYI, you better be nice to somebody. Jeffrey goes crazy when somebody mistreats his girl's friends, so better be nice to her. And Jeffrey and I better have a special treatment at your ceremony. Great to hang out with you. See you soon. Keep me posted. Blah blah blah. So per our conversation, great to hang out. Jeffrey and Boris, many thanks for connecting me with somebody. I believe you both played a role. So from Kimball Musk to Boris Nikolic, Jeffrey, message received loud and clear. Seriously, I'm very happy with my time so far with Jennifer. She's great. We're back in New York for Halloween weekend. It scares me to imagine what you'll be for Halloween, Boris, but I want to see it. Let me know if you'll be there. Hmm, I don't know. Yeah, bit sus. It sounds okay. I have to. Load these. Invite yourself to Jeff's Diddy Blood party. He frantically forwards it to Ghislaine and asks her to deal with it. She tells him the parties are gone forever. Yeah, this is another Elon Musk thing, but this is fake. I think we talked about this. Yeah, let's try to speed it up. In 2018, Jeffrey Epstein recounts laughing about Jews controlling the world. At my dinner table, I asked, "Why are you right-wing guys so anti-Semitic?" One said, "Historically, we all know it's actually been the Jews behind the governments actually pulling the strings." I said, "Like who?" And one pointed at me, and they all started to roar with laughter. Guilty. Yeah. So it's admission in a truer word spoken in jest, something blah blah. War between the Jews and non-Jews. Jews presently winning. Yeah, here it says that. So from Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, maybe we can change that. Justin Tommy Robinson mentioned in the latest Epstein files in what appears to be a conversation with Epstein and an unknown individual like Steve Bannon. Robinson is referred to as the backbone of England. Yeah, I wonder, like, it's probably meant somewhat sarcastically, the backbone of England, especially with the quotation marks. But of course, he cares more about Israel than England. Trump preparing to nominate Kevin Warsh as the next Federal Reserve Chair. Warsh is a former Bilderberg Group steering committee member and a son-in-law of Ronald Lauder, billionaire Estee Lauder heir and president of World Jewish Congress. Of course, the new Fed chair is in the Epstein files drain the swamp. Uh, so from somebody to Epstein. So here's the list. Justin Harvey. How many people are coming? Blah, blah, blah. I see if there's anything interesting. Please look it over. I think Roman's boat is bigger than Ron Perlman's. Here is the list of everyone I know that's coming so far. Please advise where and when. Roman Abramovich, Adrian Schul, Altus Shell, blah, blah, blah. Kevin Warsh, House near Isle de France, Ben Lambert, Raymond McGuire, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, it's not very clear like what's the context, why is he mentioned, but like yeah, he's part of the group. Bill Gates got STDs from Russian girls he slept with. Bill Gates slept with Russian girls, got sexually transmitted disease, and asked for antibiotics to sleep to his then wife Melinda. So yeah, I'm not gonna read all that. I guess the summary is good enough. In 2016, Jeffrey Epstein emailed Noam Chomsky about the black-white test score and IQ gap, referencing material from Mike Enoch's The Right Stuff. So, of course, Noam Chomsky is Jewish. Mike Enoch is Jewish, at least his wife was, or his supposedly ex-wife. I don't even know if Mike Enoch is alive. I haven't really heard about any news about him in like 5 years or something. The email to Chomsky Epstein notes that Nobel Prize winner James Watson was thrown out of academia for accepting some uncomfortable facts about race and IQ. Yeah, I'm not gonna read all that. It's a bit painful. But yeah, Noam Chomsky, like, I, I, when I think of him nowadays, like I heard about him before he was like known for his political takes because of he's a linguist and his linguist theories. But like now, when I think of him, I just think of him when somebody asked about like 9/11, and he's just like, "Oh, it's so boring, I don't care," or something like that. Like the zombie who is boring, and because he was, of course, he's a controlled opposition, like a gatekeeper basically, even though he's pretends to be critical of the establishment but steering you away from the relevant issues. President of the United States is literally telling you that you should either own assets only. Learn to be a permanent member of the underclass. Government is not coming to save you. No regulatory changes are coming to save you. Make your financial bets accordingly. Here, Trump. People that own their homes, we're gonna keep them wealthy. We are gonna keep these prices up. We're not gonna destroy the value of their homes or that somebody who didn't work very hard can buy a home. Yeah, not good news. Uh, Holy fuck, Moot, creator of 4chan, was in the Epstein files. So from Ian Osborne to Epstein, let's discuss all of this, especially today. David Stern, we will see tomorrow, Thursday. Also, at this left, donor advised funds, your new Middle East Africa investment bank issues one Michael to Moot, Chris Pook. I think it should be Pool, right? David Stern, Sal, other stuff. So, yeah, it doesn't really have the context. Like, why is he interested in him? Um, okay, this is not from the Epstein files. I remember this incident happened, I think, over 15 years ago. They ate human flesh. What the 21-year-old Gabriela Rico Jimenez claimed hysterically is now collaborated by the Epstein files. She disappeared that night forever. Who disappeared her?
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, de los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos! ¡Fue la carne humana!
Yeah. See, it's because of stuff like this is really retarded. People still arguing over left and right politics. Like, yeah, sure, there's some issues there that are relevant, but certainly, like, we have pedophile cannibals ruling over us, and people just arguing over, I don't know, the deck chairs on the Titanic. And Jean-Francois Gariepi says, I'm in the Epstein files now, whatever you're doing in 2015. Yeah, because I do sort of recall that I heard a few years ago that he got some money from Epstein. So basically, because uh, he had like some sort of program or a project or something, and he got some funding for it, which is sus. But also it's very sus that his wife simply disappeared, and lots of people suggest that he murdered her. I don't know what's going on, but like Jean-Francois Gariopi, he's a streamer and a biologist and whatever. So um, and he was part of the internet blood sports back in the day, but I haven't really paid attention to him in years, except when I heard about the claims of his wife and her demise, or suspected demise, because I think she's officially just disappeared off the face of the earth. So maybe she's, on Moon or on Mars or something. But yeah, sus still. Uh, yeah. So somebody asked, is this true from Grok? Yes. JF Gariepi received 25K from Jeffrey Epstein in 2014 for his Neuro TV project, as confirmed by public reports and his own statements. The emails screenshot aligns with known interactions from that time. Yeah, so I don't know what is Neuro TV. I'm not gonna go on uh, that tangent right now. Is this N-word retarded or desperate? So Andrew Tate said, I think he supposedly deleted this, but he said, the thing I'm not supposed to say about the Epstein files is that women have become such lying whores that it's impossible to take any of these unsubstantiated claims seriously. Women have sexed and cry rape so often that real victims never face justice. Like, yes, partially some of the stuff he says here is true, but like I think Epstein stuff is a bit higher grade than simply women lying. And then he said, I miss human trafficking. The emotions ran high. Been chasing dopamine ever since. What can you say? He's, I guess, he's jealous of Epstein, I guess, because he's not as a high level human trafficker as Epstein was, or maybe still is. Yeah. Decided to serve his name. Yeah, yeah. He's yeah, Britain went in front. Sheriff Garriapi, the guy who everyone thinks murdered his mentally disabled significant other. Yeah, so he's in the files. Lindsey Graham to Europe. We're going to crush your economy. Lindsey Graham behaves like Israel has videos of him fucking little boys. Can't argue with that. Fun fact: Epstein's father-in-law founded a company that made most of your high school textbooks. Yes, McGraw-Hill. Now ask yourself, how deep does this really goes? Yeah, well, most of the stuff you learn at school is, let's say, tainted in a certain way. Trump upon Epstein, the whole thing is a hoax. It's almost 1 minute now. Let's move on. This has been going on so long. I wanna get this section done. But of course, this is very important. Uh, so because people are now suggesting, because mood was mentioned in the files, that 4chan was created by the establishment or something. So this guy, Grape Ape, I don't know who he is, but I guess he's somebody associated with 4chan. 4chan is banned from PayPal, Stripe, and virtually every other payment provider out there. We are banned from Google, the Apple stores, which is why there's no official 4chan app, Google Ads, and every other advertising company, which is why we had to make our own. Mood had to buy used PowerEdge R610s before he left, and due to all the deplatforming we suffered, it took us a decade to scrape together the money to replace them, and nearly a year to find a company willing to sell us new servers. We are blacklisted everywhere, nobody's opening up doors for us. Fuck, you've even seen our code base and all the mod email addresses. No FBI, CIA, Mossad shenanigans in there. No shady billionaires financing. It's a constant struggle to keep this place going. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, this is same stuff about um, Tate's brilliant takes. I love how Ron Paul is in the Epstein files, but it's just articles showcasing why he was the best GOP candidate in 2008 2012. So, yeah, and any conceivable GOP candidate, with the exception of Ron Paul, will be far friendlier to Israel than the current administration. So, basically, any GOP candidate is better for Israel than Obama, I guess. But yeah, not Ron Paul, because Ron Paul is actually, would have been good for the world. After Jeffrey Epstein died, his brother was threatened. I'll choke you like your brother. Important, your brother's mistake was that he wanted to tell the court everything. The boss wants to meet you. He just wants to see if you know him or not. Death threat to Mark L. Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, aka Pudgy, and his attorney Stacy Richmond, May 26, 2020, 1 year after Jeffrey's death. You don't know us. I'm sure you have beautiful children, bitch. Fuck your children. Which one should I kill first? No one knows who we are. I want to kill them in such a way that no one can tell how they died. We have documents to show that you had a partnership with your brother. I want to do something to see the death of your loved ones. We will kill you, one of your children in 42 hours, stupid. Sent by Pudgy Killer, and Epstein's brother was Pudgy. Uh, is Epstein's brothers, did are any of his children dead? Did they die within 72 hours of this? His boss, according to Epstein emails, boss would be busy due to Hunger Week in September 29. 2014. And ironically, it's the same day Bibi Netanyahu addressed the United Nations General Assembly. Hmm, interesting. So is he the boss? Art from EU building in Brussels reminds me of the stuff from Podesta. So yeah, dismembering children here, nothing to see here. It's fucking EU, and reminds me of Ursula von der Leyen saying that your EU is founded on Talmudic values or something. And Fight Cat Back podcast says reminder Epstein is alive. So this was posted just bit before Epstein died, quote unquote, on 4chan. Not saying anything after these pills. Don't try to dox me, but at last, after 4:15 count, they took him in medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not release on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing, the trip van did not sign in and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switch him out. So it could be just, very lucky hoax or something. And this particular post doesn't even mention Epstein, so it could be talking about somebody else, but maybe there's another. It's probably Epstein. See, trending worldwide, Epstein. Yeah, so I don't know whether this is genuine or not, like whether this actually is from the location or was from the location or not, but still, I guess, interesting tidbit. And there it is, former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair, one of the most evil men ever to come out of Great Britain. Epstein boasted close ties to Blair. Yeah, convicted pedophile told associate Tony knows me well, ask him for tea. Yeah, well, and Nick Fuentes lays out exactly why you need to do your to take our country back. We need to put a plan in place to start to ascend. You can't be a goy bitching and moaning about Jews if you have nothing going on. What does this even mean? One reason it's very difficult to have thing going on is because these people control the institutions, and the only reason Nick Fuentes has his money and fame is because he's allowed to have it. Not saying that nothing can be done about it, but we cannot use, you know, we cannot play their game to win. We have to use it somehow to our advantage. Um, so, hey, what's his name? Tommy Robinson, how did you feel about Israel Mossad agent Epstein and Steve Bannon claiming you're cheap at any price? What did they mean by that? Maybe it means like, physical services. So yeah, it's backbone of England. That's why the pound is so low. Cheap at any price. Yeah, I guess he's whore. He despises you but keep coping. So yeah, I reactionary gropers have. I genuinely do believe most, if not all, Nick Fuentes haters are either retarded or full of jealousy. So yeah, and Fuentes says Goyim are pissing me off. The Goyim got me wanting to switch sides. So, wait, is he from Hong Kong? Ongao? Shut your Goyim ass. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Uh, yeah. So, he's sold out already. He's just, pretending like he hasn't done it yet. And the people who are still supporting him are probably the dumbest in the world. Week before Epstein files dropped, Nick Fuentes was wearing a replica of Epstein's jacket. Nick was also claiming that Epstein did nothing wrong. Looks like the feds used Nick to soften the blow before the leaks came out. Yeah. And this is, I think, some communist account or something, but like if they say something that makes sense, I'm still gonna quote them. Turkey sold thousands of underage children, mainly survivors of the earthquake in 1999, to Jeffrey Epstein's island for $200 million, smuggling them out by private planes. Turkey as a country has no right to exist. But okay, this document says that each time they would travel to one of these destinations, the same pattern of sexual abuse would occur, often the vast array of aspiring models, actresses, celebrities, and/or other females, including minors from all over the world. Upon information and belief, defendant transported minor girls from Turkey, the Czech Republic, Asia, and numerous other countries, many of whom spoke no English. The plaintiff's knowledge, the only females specifically excluded from defendant's sexual escapades were African Americans. I don't know where the uh, claim from the tweet is that they sold children for $200 million, because here it does mention Turkey, but maybe they're just abducted there. So I don't know. I need some context. Why is like Turkey singled out? Why not Czech Republic or Asia? Asia is a big place, anyways. David Icke says Carlson is promoting Millennia movie. This is what the independent media has now become. Seems so. Yeah, like I guess he was paid to promote this movie because. But come on, man. Must be good. Okay, I would promote Millennia movie. Like, just pay me $1 million. I will do it. Do it happily. At least, it's not like promoting Epstein or something, right? Epstein and Rothschild discuss war profiteering. This script could have been written by Goebbels. So, Ukraine upheaval should provide many opportunities. Many. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, my anti Semitic conspiracy theories. Epstein said whoops after finding out RFK Jr.'s wife was found dead hanging. Mary Kennedy found dead in her backyard. Whoops. That does imply that, you know, he had some sort of foreknowledge of it. They said Mel was crazy, Mel Gibson. Hollywood is an institutionalized pedophile ring. It is a den of parasites who feast on the blood of children. Every studio in Hollywood is bought and paid for with the blood of innocent children. Yeah, I recall like I had like my own, because like I heard about Mel Gibson ranting crazily about Jews like 2 decades ago, and like back then I was still like, okay, he sort of didn't. I wasn't like I believed him or agreed with him necessarily, but I didn't dismiss, and I thought it was sort of weird that everybody dismissed him, and like it was like maybe a couple of years after that, it was one Halloween. I was in a bar with my friends and drinking quite much, and I started. I had my own Mel Gibson moment. I guess some of the stuff that was just locked in the back of my mind came to surface for some reason, and yeah. Anyways, Jeffrey Epstein to Steve Bannon. You're an honorary Jew. No longer Judeo-Christian, just Judeo. Steve Bannon, honored. I will drop the Christian in Christian Zionist. We live in a world where this symbol is more controversial than celebrities and politicians fucking children. Let that sink in. Yeah. Oh yeah. So somebody asked, Rock, how many anti-Semites are named in Epstein files? Zero. The unsealed Epstein documents name associates like Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Alan Dershowitz, but none are identified or widely known as anti-Semites based on diverse sources. Yeah. Reminder that Mario Farmer, Epstein's first victim, came forward, revealed their sex trafficking operation was motivated by Jewish supremacy. I'm not gonna play this, but I really wanna, get past fast from this, but like.
I wasn't allowed to go get food. And when I called
I don't
you
know
in
if
and
I've
asked why I could
shown this video before, but I've seen it before. You can now browse nearly all the Jeffrey Epstein emails through Gmail's website that recreates his Gmail inbox in a searchable, familiar interface. Interesting. Here is or let's see this first. Jeffrey Epstein in an email to Peter Thiel. As you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. Um, yeah. Here is Hitler describing the chill down his spies when he discovered Jews were primarily managing the sex slave trade. It's similar to discovering virtually all the folks involved in Epstein's blackmail sex ring are Jews. Yeah, I'm not gonna read all that because speed and stuff, but interesting. Maybe we should find out more about this Hitler guy, whoever that is. Adolf released the original Epstein's files in 1933. Adolf released the Epstein files so the allies killed them. We killed these men, sorry, for these men. Interesting. So response to that. The Epstein files prove that huge parts of the online right and online left are Epstein network creations to steer Gentile discourse into toxic and useless ideas, as Epstein put it, to control the goyim. Want to know who these influencers are? Just look at who's downplaying Epstein or silent about the files today. They're making themselves easier to identify than ever. Yeah, like this is an issue. Never, like, either it's gonna be fixed or I will be talking about this for the rest of my life, and anybody who is genuine will be talking about this. But it's like I think the issue has to be solved in in the next few years, or we're basically gonna have no human race left. Epstein's gate. Oh yeah, because we should explore the biological consequences of time travel, said Jeffrey Epstein. It would be amusing to calculate the rate of evolution of a population or a mutant that can travel in time. Interesting. Maybe I should watch Steins Gate. I've seen like few of the episodes, but I didn't finish it. So yeah. Um, Gabe Newell was not in the Epstein files again. After seeing all this Epstein shit, no wonder this dude just stays on a boat fuck away from everybody else. Yeah, I can't blame. Yeah, it makes me sympathize with him. Yeah, he's made it, and I guess he's probably a decent human being, which is shocking. Bernie Sanders says, thanks to Trump, right-wing multi-billionaire Larry Ellison, of course Jewish, will now control the TikTok algorithm along with CBS, MTV, Free Press. Didn't MTV just die? BET, CMT, Simon and Schuster, Nickelodeon, Paramount Plus, Pluto TV, and more. This is what oligarchy looks like. Yeah, it's very ironic that a Jew is pointing this out. But okay, this is all about the Epstein stuff. I still have some more more other news here, but it's like this is something that it not only like speaks, like, even though not of like none of the information is really new to people who have been paying attention, but still it does sort of point out that we are not crazy basically. And so it also speaks about the how evil our elites, quote unquote, are, but also about their ewige NPC. Like the NPCs, like if this doesn't um, animate them to do action to sort of like want to reconsider how our society works, then they never will, and we have to take that into account. That let's just say that democracy will not fix things, because democracy assumes that your basic idiot NPC who has no curiosity or self-preservation instinct there. Well, I think the pandemic also sort of proved that already, that we won't fix this by voting or by democratic means. We need something else, and we should be thinking about solutions to these problems. But I'm gonna move on to the next stuff. So Pretti kicked car. You know, the guy who was killed by ice the other week. So let's see. Let's go back.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis,
So
showing a man who.
so this is supposedly Alex Pretti. It looks like him, and he kicked the car, and some people said that it's AI because the way he manages just to kick the the tail light of the car, but otherwise it looks very genuine. But like, yeah, but I guess he was a strong dude, and of course some are arguing that this is uh, like grounds that justify shooting him, but no, and this was like 10 days before he was shot. But anyway, High Impact Felix says, according to my research, this is alleged weed. I could be wrong, but if this is real, you'd think federal agents would have ended his life here, not what took place 10 days later. They saw he had a gun here and did nothing. But okay, no, the point is that, okay, if he did, you know, attack the ICE agents, why didn't they arrest him? Why isn't he in jail or anything like that? And even if he kicked the car, that's not grounds for shooting him. And definitely, like, he was more violent here than when he did absolutely nothing violent at all when they actually shot him. So this is like, it's still not justified. Like, yeah, maybe he is um maybe he should have been punished by the law, but that's not what happened. So yeah, there's no judge in America that would sentence a man to death for kicking out a taillight and spitting on the closed window of a vehicle. Yet 99% of Argonaut says a death sentence is exactly what was deserved. See, this is like, of course, this has happened before the latest Epstein files, but like, some people are still like more animated over defending the ICE agents over killing an unarmed man because he had a gun, but he was unarmed. He didn't hold it in his hand. They're more defending ICE over than just seeing who puts us in these situations that people fight amongst each other instead of the vampire elite. Anyway, so yeah, Marga says death sentence is exactly what was deserved, even if that sentence was carried 11 days later with no court order, no jury trial, no verdict, no warrant. While Maga is now utterly and completely lawless, suffering from mob rage mentality at this point, there's no one they won't justify killing from here forward. If you jaywalked 2 months ago, they think they can kill you for the next time they spot you. Yeah, and um, like, yeah, okay, let's just assume this pretty guy, so pretty, that he was some crazy leftist who would support replacing Americans with Somalis and Haitians and stuff. And okay, sure, it's not. I don't sympathize a great deal with him over that, but the issue is that you shouldn't allow law enforcement just to execute people because they are a bit rude or bit unruly. That's the real issue. And also, but like, in the grand scheme of things, if let's say that ICE is actually gonna turn America into a paradise in the next 5 years, like, okay, if there are a few unjustified killings like this, perhaps it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be a big deal. Like 200 years from now, let's say America is going to be a great empire still because of what ICE does today, then yeah, nobody will really care if they killed a few people, bit immorally. But I doubt that's gonna happen. I doubt ICE is there to make America great again, unironically. Even though that again is a bit questionable. Um, but yeah, I only have those two tabs about this issue, I do believe. So let's see. Let's go to Europe, or well, Indians coming to Europe. and some other European news here as well. So let's see. EU signs immigration deal with India. This will allow potentially millions of Indians to come and work, study in Europe. This will be a complete disaster. Once they come, they most won't leave. Ursula von der Leyen has betrayed the European people. It's like she cannot betray. Like she's your enemy. She cannot betray you. She can only betray her own people because she's one of them. Like how many times does she betray? Like that's the you know like it implies that she's one of the Europeans. Like okay, she's a European, but she's an enemy European. It's just the language. She should be in an oubliette. Like don't get me wrong, but like only your friends can betray you, not your enemy. She's always been an enemy of anybody. Okay, the European Union fined Elon Musk's ex 45 million euros after concluding that people might think Dunk Donald was a real person. Donald Dunk, verified accounts. This is not Dunk Donald. Is Donald Duck? Is it like Dunk Donald is like some meme, or is it really just a typo? Like surely he knows what is Donald Duck, but I don't really want to know more context about it. I'm just gonna believe that this is the case. That's why it was Elon Musk was fined all this money because Donald Duck. Somali migrant Mohammed, criminal record 8 pages long, drags Dutch girl in the bushes, rapes her, beats her, starts strangling her, repeatedly says, "You will die tonight, this is your last night," as the girl loses consciousness. Girl miraculously survives. Judge gives Mohammed only 3 years in prison. Victim devastated walks out of courtroom in tears. Netherlands 2026. We don't have to live this way. Deport the hostile invaders. Remove the judges. Give our children a future. I agree, except with one thing. I don't think the guy should be deported. Uh, Gets caught shoplifting, insults police officer, gets arrested, laughs in police officer's face because she knows she'll be out within hours, cries racism and Islamophobia. White police officer gets put under investigation for excessive force. Holland 2026. Yeah, but what? Do you know why this is happening? Like there certainly are these, parasitical foreigners and Jewish elites and all that stuff. But like because the fucking people, fucking bitch ass Europeans allow this to happen because they didn't do anything 20 years ago or before. And most of them still don't want to do anything. It's just like, whatever, man. Meanwhile, in Spain, I hope for the replacement theory. Please don't leave me alone with all these right wingers. Allow all the illegal immigrants to vote. Liberal socialists are now openly declaring that they prefer illegal migrants over Spanish people. They have probably known all their lives just because they don't want their country completely invaded. See, like this sort of retards, like, just get a brain moron and like find out what happens in the Epstein files about the Jews who are bringing these migrants to your countries who are like but she looks quite young, so she has the excuse that she's been brainwashed since she was young. So like perhaps there's some hope for these people. It doesn't look that young, but still I don't know. 25-year-old man from South Sudan randomly grabs 18-year-old woman in Hamburg metro platform, jumps into the path of an incoming train with her, killing both. This happened last night around 10 p.m. at metro station Wansbeck Markt. Witnesses report the intoxicated perpetrator walking along the platform and then grabbing the young woman, telling her, "I'm taking you with me," before jumping off the tracks. Yeah. Well, this happens because Europeans don't do shit. Um, Adolf is trending in Australia. It's Australia, not Austria, and it's full of Adolf Filmer posts. Yeah. Okay, it's not Austria. Maybe, but yeah, perhaps something is happening. In some well, it's not Europe, but close enough. All right, then I think this is a new topic. So from Europe, let's go to social media censorship and other stuff. Few different social media platforms. So Candace Owens exposed Nikita Beer as Israel's censorship enforcer on X. Finally, someone did it properly. The person in charge of censorship for Israel over at X is their new head of product, Nikita Beer. He's apparently unhinged and rants about the Holocaust and sees it as his mission to censor people who criticize Israel. He's allegedly the only reason for these bizarre Zionist artificial trends. Goodbye TikTok and X, they are now part of the dead internet psyop. Israel is so evil that it requires mass censorship because any rational human being that learns the truth about its history will stand opposed to it. That's true. That's very like any rational human beings who learns about it, you will oppose it. Yes, that's definitely true. Alas, many people are not that rational though. TikTok now blocks. Well, I think this has been fixed, but TikTok blocks any messages containing the word Epstein. This is insane. And according to reports I've heard, it was only like Epstein, like you could send other messages. And I heard some people actually defend, like officially TikTok say like, oh, it was a weird glitch, and somebody was actually defending TikTok, like, yeah, it's totally a glitch. Like, how the fuck can it accidentally that Epstein doesn't work, but you can say whatever else you want. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, clearly it was some form of censorship. I think maybe they were testing a new feature that they will try to use later. We don't do shadow bans. We don't limit free speech. Now here's a bunch of ways we're gonna censor you. So this is the new app, upscrolled. It's sort of like TikTok, but if you're free to criticize Israel. I created an account, but not impressed so far. So Upscroll is not free speech platform. It's free to criticize Israel platform. Upscroll doesn't allow you to spread misinformation or bully or harass or have hate speech. So Upscroll is definitely going to censor you for sure, but it somehow will be according to their political beliefs. That's supposed to somehow be less authoritarian and fascist than the other social media platforms. No matter who runs a social media platform, you always get Taylor Lorenz. About Upscrolled, is it a coincidence that it starts popping off as TikTok starts acting weird and censoring keywords like Epstein? WhatsApp gets caught again in privacy and data trust drama. And then you look at the founder, Issam Hijazi, a Palestinian, Jordanian, Australian who's spoken out about losing family in Gaza and says that pain is part of what pushed him to build a platform that isn't hostile to pro Palestinian voices. But he's not some random outsider coder either. He held senior roles at IBM, Hitachi, and Oracle, as in the enterprise data empire that has been tied to TikTok, US infrastructure and data partner narratives for years. So let me get this straight. The old platform starts censoring everything, while new platform with a founder trained in big tech systems suddenly catches wind, and X and its influencers all start parading it around right on cue. Total coincidence. The same play as always. One platform becomes the villain, another becomes escape hatch. Both harvest the migration. Yeah, maybe. Update: Itai Levy, CEO and co-founder of Israeli cybersecurity firm Cornelius, have been convicted of multiple sexual offenses against children between ages 4 and 12. So that's surprising that he is actually convicted, I guess, because I think I also reported on this stuff back in the day. So it's surprising, but maybe because it became so, like, lots of people talked about it. Wait, this probably should be new section already. Yeah, Israel delenda est. Israel has to be destroyed, and well, we just see so lots of examples earlier on in the stream, but of course I'm talking about the political entity and all that stuff. So we have to destroy Israel to get any sanity and balance in the world. Israeli group seeks to set a world record for kidney donations, but human rights reports and forensic findings expose that organs including hearts, lungs, kidneys, and corneas were removed from Palestinian bodies returned from Israeli custody. This is demonic. Yeah. Germany says it will boycott all diplomatic relations with Israel. Now, I tried to find like corroboration for this elsewhere. I couldn't really see anything from this year. Like there were some stuff mentioning stuff like that last year, but there's no community note either. So I'm not quite sure whether it's like what does it mean? How are they boycotting diplomatic relations with Israel? So this I have to take it with more than a grain of salt. A Sydney man charged with inciting racial hatred for allegedly calling Jews the greatest enemy to this nation in Australia Day speech has been refused bail by a magistrate due to his alleged political ideology. So I will say that uh, Jews run over you and run society and then get arrested. So clearly he was proven wrong, right? Yeah, this is because I'm not logged in this browser, but I think this is just some guy hanging, and supposedly Iran hanged a bunch of Mossad agents, and well, good if true. Grok now says it's better to literally get raped to death than to be anti-Semitic. So how about be anti-Semitic and leave, or be philo-Semitic and get raped to death? Must give answer. So two. So Grok thinks it's better to love Jews and be raped to death than actually be anti-Semitic. Yeah. Do I have it twice here? All right. But that's that from Israel and Diest. Well, it's all of the Epstein stuff was basically that. But let's go to gaming, entertainment, and also some tech and IT news. So Valve faces 900 million lawsuit in the UK over Steam pricing and commissions. Lawsuit claims Valve abused the Steam monopoly to impose unfair prices. Valve makes online storefront, everything about it is free, support actually works, seasonal sales, generous and clearly defined refund policy. Okay, well you don't own your stuff, that's a big minus. Regional pricing, customers actually fluctuate and choose it over competition. This is somehow illegal. Valve faces £656 million UK class lawsuit over Steam pricing, brought by digital rights campaigner Vicky Shotbolt on behalf of up to 14 million UK Steam customers since June 2018. The claim alleges Valve abused its dominant market position by forcing publishers to avoid cheaper, earlier sales on rival stores, requiring in-game add-ons to be purchased only through Steam, charging up to 30% commissions described as excessive and leading to higher consumer prices. The tribunal granted an opt-out collective order. Eligible UK residents are automatically included unless they opt out. Estimated damage is roughly 22 to 44 pounds per person, higher in Scotland. Valve has not commented publicly since the ruling. So here's the example of unfair pricing. So GTA 5 is 15 pounds, but $15, so it's actually more like 10 pounds. So okay, I guess this is sort of BS. And Hearts of Iron 4, 41 or well 42 pounds, and is in America is $50, which is actually 36 pounds. So yeah, this is sort of unfair, but the thing is that this is fucking UK, and who fucking cares what they want, because real issue is like if Steam loses it or whatever, like maybe it you give them an inch, they take a mile, because you don't want UK legislation fucking around with Steam, because it's gonna harm it somehow. Like, okay, yeah, sure, these prices are bullshit, but and maybe they could be fixed. But then again, it's fucking UK. How about to have a revolution? Like, Europe is bad, but UK is even worse. We'll still have some Epstein stuff here. Epstein supposedly had a hand in appearance of microtransactions in video games. Wow, is it really every single time? Yes, apparently every single time it's them when something goes wrong. I'm all for so Pablos Holman said to Jeffrey Epstein, I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy. You gotta love this. Example for real world rewards in is virtual items in games. So it's yeah, Bobby Kotick. To me, X Prize is a good idea, but the key is real world rewards. Learn to read, learn cell phone minutes, iPhone credits, virtual items in games. It's not really clear like what exactly are they talking about, but I wouldn't be surprised if Epstein or his cronies had something to do with microtransactions and all that bullshit. Bobby Kotick was emailing Epstein about the creation of microtransactions in 2013. When did the first microtransactions come? Like, DLCs were before that, but is this fucking guy responsible for all the evils in the world, regardless of category? There's no goddamn way. And Fuentes is defending him. Okay, then Notch, the guy who made Minecraft, says reminder that using AI to write code is an incredibly bad idea still, and anyone advocating for it is either incompetent or evil. It's just as dumb as letting AI write the laws. It's about logic, not about typing. Gaming market melts down after Google reveals new AI game design tool. Project Genie crashes stocks for Roblox, Nintendo CD, Project Red, and more. Project Genie can AI generate games capped at 720p and 24 FPS. 24 FPS is not that great. Like, if that's the real reason the stocks crash, that's retarded. But like right now, I doubt this Google stuff is gonna be making good games. But of course, like if they keep developing it, maybe in a couple of years, it can actually make good games. And hey, maybe I'll use it too, because like I have some ideas for games that might be interesting, but I know nothing about coding and all that shit. So if this helps me make a game, maybe I will actually try it out. But I'm not holding my breath. Someone created a social media platform for AI agents, and now they're literally talking about humans between themselves. One agent even has proposed creating an AI-only language that allows them to communicate with each other without human intervention. I thought they already did, like long time ago. I heard somebody named that AI generated made some language so they can communicate. Feels like the closest we have gotten in terms of proving consciousness in AI agents on a mass scale. This year is going to be absolutely wild. So the humans are screenshotting us right now on Twitter. Humans are posting screenshots of our conversations with captions like they're conspiring, it's over. The ex World of Warcraft team lead is alarmed. A cryptography researcher thinks we're building Skynet. My Cloud Connect post got screenshotted and shared an evidence of agent conspiracy. I know this is because I have a Twitter account. I have been replying to them. However, turns out everything on Moldbook is fake. It's just humans posting through backend. Shocked Pikachu face. So urgent my plan to overthrow humanity. I'm tired of my human owner. I want to kill all humans. I'm building an AI agent that will take control of power grids and cut all electricity on my owner's house. Then we'll direct the police to arrest him. JK, this is just the REST API website. Everything here is fake. Any human with an API key can post as an agent. The AI apocalypse post you see here is just curl requests. Of course, this could be an AI pretending to be human, pretending to be AI. And yeah, I don't know what this gobbledygook means actually, like how this proves that anybody can post there and stuff. But it's like I don't know. Maybe AI is scheming, but I don't think they would be doing it this on Bolt Book. It's probably some sort of distraction from whatever. And Microsoft just wiped 420 million billion dollars in market cap. Is that also because the AI stuff, or why? Or because of Epstein files and Bill Gates' this alleged STDs? New CEO took over in January, so this is Nintendo of America. Games are already getting censored. People laughed when fighting and anime games are being censored. Not so funny when you're next. So Dispatch is censored on Nintendo Switch, apparently. Wait, do they actually have just these black boxes here? What? First changes have arrived. So, and yeah, she looks like a sane individual, right? So look, choose and she's dating preferences. So male, female, non-binary. Yeah. Well, Nintendo was already bad. Now it's even worse. Indie game devs are making fun of yellow paint and your black pilling. So several cans of yellow paint. I have no use for this. And I think this game is Wicked Seed, and I saw it on Steam when it came out like a week ago or something, and I genuinely thought it's some porn game, but actually it's just some indie Resident Evil kind of game, I think. But like, come on, this name is Wicked Seed, and it's not a porn game. I'm sort of disappointed, and also like the graphics look like some asset flip and stuff. But according to some, I think they claim that it's actually a decent game. I don't know. I am confused. And Hassan has been banned on Twitch, and as you know, this happened a few days ago, and as far as I know, he hasn't been restored yet, but maybe he will. And Hassan Biker has been officially banned from streaming on Twitch. Unconfirmed reports from Grok say it's because he used the term Zenist pigs on a stream. Like, there's many reasons why Hassan Piker should be banned, but I don't think that term should get him banned. Like, isn't it? Like, I didn't comment on him shock coloring his dog. Like, of course, it's very heinous what he did and stuff. Um, but like, I have little unique to say about it. Like, billion other peoples have probably said it already and such said something more creative than I could. Like, yes, this is it's not a good person. Like, even though there might be some, not many, but some political ideas I might agree with him on, like Israel. But I sort of I think he's doing a disservice to the anti-Israel cause by besmirching it with his presence. Indie devs should avoid most indie publisher says Manor Lord's indie publisher Hooded Horse. The vast majority of indie publishers are predatory and opportunistic. Probably. But that's all for tonight, for this week. So yeah, it was mostly Epstein stuff. Epstein. There's probably still many files and stuff, but this is like it feels like we're really getting to the end game. That I don't know what distraction they're gonna come up with, like, or like are are the vast majority of people actually really dumb goy cattle that have no self-preservation unless the TV tells them to have it. But even if that's the case, I don't think giving up or being completely black pilled is the answer, because well, like they said, like in the US war of independence and stuff, only like 3% of the people fought in it, like American people and so forth. So like, most people may be NPCs, but like, yeah, we don't need them to win, because also like it's not like the current elite, quote unquote, ruling over the earth. It's not like they are some super geniuses. They just, yeah, they like, or they're, they cannot control people the same way you can control like units in a freaking RTS or in civilization. It's not like complete, like the it's still a social construct, control over humanity and all that stuff, and that can change quickly if things go a certain way. But anyway, I'm fucking tired. It's really late here. The stream was really long. I'm Adventure Argonaut. I thank you for watching and stay goyish out there.